guys, King of Trinas here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you my top 5 teams for Open Great League. You probably don't need a video on this, but I was screaming Great League with some of my friends over the weekend because, you know, Regionals is coming up and we have no idea how they're heck gonna do it. They might do show 6, pick 3, or they might do what they did in the previous Worlds, the last time they hosted Worlds, and literally just have you pick any Pokemon you want randomly, very much like Go Battle League. So, if it's that case, where they're just going to do it like the last Worlds, where it's probably the best format, where they're like, okay, you can use any 3 Pokemon you want for X amount of battles, then you can face a wide variety of living hell. But, generally, you don't want to deviate too much from what you're used to using. Unless you've been playing Go Battle League for a very long time, or just Blind 3 in general, or just playing PvP to where you're like, alright, cool, I got this. Very much like me, I'm just like, alright, cool, this. Or I'm going to pick like a stack of 10 teams that I think are the best and then run with them. Or if it is or if it's show 6, then honestly, show 6 is not that much complicated than pick 3. It really isn't. You just have to have a balanced team, and literally if you put 6 meta Pokemon together, most of all of those blend well together. Which is why I'm doing this video. Because Open Great League is the league you are going to be playing if you hate Little Jungle Cup or minus 500 CP mods. Some of you have asked me, how the heck do I have a minus 500 CP Charmander? Or, not Charmander, well, I have that too, but Skarmory. Well, I actually, a long time ago, Skarmory was in Nest, so if you went to a Skarmory Nest and you grinded the living crap out of them, like I did to get my rank 2 Skarmory, then you probably have a minus 500 Skarmory. Mine's just shiny, but I don't even use it a lot for Little Jungle Cup. So, with Open Great League, before I get started, this is my mental health tip for the day, and it's going to be to always, well, this is actually just like the premise. So, as a therapist, I do follow different therapists here and there. One of the clinicians that I follow, our clinical psychologist out there, is Jordan Peterson, who has this fantastic outlook, or just this breadth of knowledge of a view as a therapist and a view of what good therapy looks like. So, from what good therapy is fear. A lot of you fear that you are not going to make Legend, or you are not good enough to make Legend. Let me tell you something. A long time, literally, before I started PvP, I didn't have a lot of experience. This was back in Season 1, where there was everything, like, the meta was just super merciless, etc. I found a way to break Open Master League. And to this day, I'm the only person to break Open Master League Classic with a Hydreigon, Mewtwo, and Rhyperior, which at the time the movesets I used weren't top 10. So, didn't feature Kyogre, Dialga, or what else was super prominent? Giratina. So, yes, and I didn't know a lot about PvP. I just had this idea. I was like, you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. Maybe this works. And I found something where at least everyone thought it was not possible, or it was just really impossible at the time because Dialga was just overpowered. So this my mental health tip of the day is overcome fear. But to put it plainly, don't ignore fear. Here's the thing, when you brave through your fears, as in Go Battle League, you start getting less afraid of everything else. You become less fearful of a lot of other challenges in your life because you were able to accomplish this certain thing. Let me give you an example. I have an ADHD client who just happened to finish the last level so they're playing FNF, which is basically like a rhythm game, like Osu or something like that. It's like DDR with keypads. They're playing this insane level. They could never finish it. And one day, every week, they were getting a lot more confident. And this last time, they were like, I can do it. And they beat it, and I've never seen them so happy in session in play therapy. And it was absolutely wonderful to see. And if that kid can do it, you can too. So if you fear making Legend, if you fear you cannot defeat anybody in Go Battle League or Form of Legends, trust me, I don't fear anybody. I don't care what leaderboard number you is. My former friend was the last Silph World Cup champion. I technically beat him, so... yeah, and I beat a whole lot of other people. I beat #1 leaderboarders all the time. And guess what? I'm not even emotional over it. I wasn't even in my second... yeah, I had no emotion. So, with that being said, nobody scares me. A lot of my viewers beat me. Breach beats me all the time in practice. A lot of you probably even beat me in Go Battle League. No one is invincible. What matters is that you go over your fear, you battle, you keep on going, you have fun, you get better, you get stronger, you study, you overcome, and you achieve everything you want to achieve. And at the end of the day, you become the best version of yourself. And without further ado, let's get started with my top 5 teams for Open Great League Season 11. Yeah. Alright, and the first team I have is Bastiodon, Medicham, of course, Sableye. You've probably seen this team before. You've probably seen it 1,000 times, and it's still really freaking good. So this was actually the most used team. Like, it's made the top team multiple times. Also, literally is still good to this day for the fact that Bastiodon, Sableye, depending on what order you put them, beat the Walrein Trev core pretty handily. So, with that being said, this team is still really freaking good, and it was actually being used at a whooping 4.1% in PvPoke.com training rankings. In other words, this was the most used team in Open Great League for PvPoke. Literally, it's still good. Yeah, it has dropped off in effectiveness compared to before, but literally it's still really powerful and still great to this day, and I still saw it when I was playing Open Great League. And even when you introduce Trev and Registeel getting its buff, Trevanent, everything, you still have this monster team that still does really freaking well against so many things. As you see here, even with Registeel getting its buff with Zap Cannon, Zap Cannon, Trevanent, and Walrein, this team is still absolutely beastly, being able to take out a lot of great meta Pokemon as well as super meta teams. There also isn't one Pokemon to this day, despite, like I mentioned, Registeel, Walrein, Trev, that actually beats this entire team. There is one Pokemon that is very strong against a lot of meta, and because of Bastiodon, you can lock in Bastiodon to things like Altaria, Skarmory, etc., and it can win up shields. Or, if you have enough chip damage on the other Pokemon, it can possibly just smack down your opponent to oblivion. Look at this, 601. Despite all the changes in Open Great League, this team is still extremely powerful. Yes, it does feature Medicham XL and Sableye XL. You can use you can use your regular Sableye, you can use Purified Sableye, the one that is perfect best buddy. That one might actually do you well, especially in Worlds, because a Sableye that wins CMP will generally beat the other Sableyes in the mirror. And yeah, it's freaking nuts at how powerful Sableye is, even if you don't have the XL version. But Bastiodon, Medicham, Sableye is still one of the strongest Open Great League teams of all time. I expect to see it in Regionals and Worlds once I compete on it as well. Super powerful, super strong, still low threat score. If you use this team before, it's still probably going to work for you. Speaking of Walrein Trev core, what happens when you put a giant Walrus and a ghost tree from Lord of the Rings, and you put a giant trash can in the back? You get one of the most powerful teams literally in Great League. This was a top 5 team, Walrein, Registeel, and Trevanent. Walrein Trevanent is incredibly powerful core in Ultra League, and it's still really good in Great League because what happens when you combine bulk, good typings, and charge move pressure? You get an absolute smorgasbord of destruction. This will be the Sunday, well, you know, it's Sunday today as I make this video, but this is going to be the ice cream sundae that's going to eat your ELO alive. If there was ELO in rank 20, actually, this is still going to eat people's ELO for Season 12 when we get our ELO ratings back, and as you dive your way to Legend. As you see, amazing stats across the board. Very, very safe. Trev functions as an incredibly powerful save switch, being able to blast its way through shields, etc. Registeel with the Zap Cannon buff allows it to essentially run through a ton of combinations, and you can even mess around with that Zap Cannon debuff. There are plenty of instances where I've used Registeel with Zap Cannon, debuffed my opponent, farmed it down, and or lived all of these moves and just absolutely destroyed my opponent. Really strong, really powerful, and as you see here, absolutely annihilates the meta. Those are a lot of X's, but Walrein Trev core, like I mentioned, the reason why it's so good is because of that pressure. Walrein has Earthquake, which is a great and fantastic coverage moveset against a lot of different meta picks, especially against the Steel archetype, which is very, very prevalent in Go Battle League. Speaking of Steel, we got the Trash Can as well as Trev. This combination makes it to where Scrafty, Snorlax, and Pangoro, two of which you probably will not see a lot in Go Battle League in general. Snorlax is still out there, but it's definitely not as prominent as it used to be. Scrafty is probably going to be your worst nightmare. With that being said, it's not necessarily mean Scrafty is unbeatable. Depending on the position it's in, you're still able to beat Scrafty with this team. I remember testing out this team. If it's in a lead, it's really rough, but if you have a super positive matchup with either Registeel or Trevanent against their back row, you can still come out with dubs. I beat Scrafty leads. I've also beat Scrafty in the back. So again, it really depends on what's supporting Scrafty, and if you are able to find out a good if you have a really good, like I mentioned, good back row with either Registeel or Trevanent, you can still come out with the W. but with expert charge move, pressure, energy, and shield management. Despite that, like I mentioned, you could still beat Scrafty and lead it back. That's why this team is so powerful and still statistically ranked supreme in the top team rankings. Whooping threat score of 632. Not a lot of things can take this team down. And again, top 5 team, very strong, very powerful, and it can work for you, especially if you love Walrein, Trevanent core. I know a lot of you can expect to see a lot of those in the World Championships and in regionals. All right, speaking of Sableye, as I mentioned before, Registeel. This was actually the most powerful addition of the Registeel team. So Sableye, Medicham, and Registeel. This was actually the most powerful team with Registeel. I think it was a top 3 team, I think. This is the one you probably saw me use on stream a lot on Twitch. I stream on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Mondays, Tuesdays usually. I won't stream that day if I have something gone on or if something's going on. But usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's when I will stay consistent, usually. Like I mentioned, unless something gone on. So, as you see here, amazing bulk, amazing safety, great stats across the board. Sableye XL is a beast in the lead, really takes advantage of that, of Trevanent coming out, also being DD, being a lot more prominent in the lead nowadays, or Medicham leads it as well. So Sableye has a lot of great play. There's also a lot of Azumarils out there. Fun fact, if you get a return through shield, you can straight foul play down for the victory against an Azumaril. So it is an extremely powerful mon. And this team is extremely powerful. As you see here, Talonflame is the only thing that gives you a problem. But even then, like, Sableye doesn't do bad against Talonflame. Those foul plays, Chunk, and Shadow Claw damage does really well. So it's not that bad. Typhlosion, obviously, hashtag get beamed. All hail the Typhlosion, the red and fiery mon of destruction. I love it to death, and it is amazing. I love Typhlosion in this meta, and it's really freaking great. As you see here, this team is incredibly powerful. Lower threat score than the previous one, and if you saw me use it on stream, did multiple 5-0s like no tomorrow. It is extremely strong, extremely good. With Sableye extra and just malicious energy management, or really great energy management, you can stack Sableye in the lead. Or you can, well, that's kind of what you're going to have to do. If you do see a Charmer in the lead, you're only, well, I beat Charmers, but it was really, it was hard. I'm not going to lie, it was hard. So what happens is you'll safe switch into Medicham. Medicham can hopefully break shields or do some damage against said Charmer. Then you can send in Registeel to farm down, and hopefully Sableye can take out the back row. Keywords hopefully. But I've still been able to beat Charmers with this team. Rough to do it around, but this team is still very powerful and does really well in Open Great League. I went pause. I think I've only had 2 negative sets the times I've used this team. And there's a lot of 4-1-5-0s that I got with it. So, yes. Well, that's what happens when you put a Sableye XL and Medicham and a newly buffed Registeel. It's just obscenely overpowered and very, very strong, and does really well in Open Great League. Alright, team number 2, or close to 2 before the end. It's probably something you've seen before. Stunfisk, Pelipper, Venusaur in the back. Pelipper is still a fantastic safe switch in this meta. Hurricane still blasts through shields like no tomorrow and still does work. Against Walrein, you will do heavy damage. Against the Trevanent, you will KO it. And if you see Registeel, it kind of sucks now because Zap Cannon hurts a lot. Back in the day, you used to be able to essentially kind of wall Registeel with Pelipper. Now that it has Zap Cannon, you will get one shot. Makes it really dangerous. However, Zap Cannon still takes a minute to get to, so you can weather ball it to death. You can literally ball out. You could go ball to the wall like LeBron James kicking a scoring tile in 2022, because that's literally what he's doing right now. For those of you basketball fans, yes, I am a Warriors fan. I was a Warriors fan before the Warriors won a championship all the way back. Yeah, and I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from the Bay Area. So, with that being said, also, yes, I am a Warriors fan, and I hope they do really well. But like that, you also have Pelipper with Weather Ball. You want to know how to make a Pokemon really, really overpowered? Yeah, give it Weather Ball. You want to make something super meta? Give it Weather Ball. You want to make something that's completely irrelevant before, super, super powerful? Give it Weather Ball. You want to make something that literally dominates the meta, doesn't have to call it Weather Ball, and give it a little more attack and it mimics Body Slam? You call it Icicle Spear, but it's actually Weather Ball. Yes, Weather Ball has literally dominated Go Battle League and given to so many mons, it is a living meme. No, the Ninetales got Weather Ball, Politoed got Weather Ball. What else got Weather Ball? Pelipper actually got what? No, I remember. Pelipper never got Water Ball before. Now it has Weather Ball. literally every freaking cast form has Weather Ball, and they couldn't fix the normal cast form. So you know what cast form got? It got Rock Weather Ball. Everything balls out. Literal balls to the wall, balls out, suns out, guns out, balls out, GG's, take your elo, here's your legend. And in regionals and worlds, you're probably going to see the next rendition of Weather Ball 69420 come out. Anyways, enough me about Weather Ball. This team is incredibly powerful. One of the most, it was actually one of the top teams before, and it was the most common team. I think, yeah, Taylor created this team as well, or someone did before, and I have no idea. Who, for you I know, that's FPSticks. His name's Taylor. He's an incredibly great battler, super cool dude, and he is an amazing battler. And I think he made this team, and you know, everyone says they originally make something, but all three of these Pokemon are so mega meta, or like so thing that, like, you know, freaking, I don't know. Yeah, it's what it is. But despite this fact, it's still really good. As you see here against Trev, Medicham, Deoxys defense, the stupid dragon that's out nowadays, Gorgeist, those are some really weird potential threats. The most relevant ones probably being the top three. But again, as you see here, Trevanent, Medicham, and Deoxys defense are probably going to be the ones you're going to have to deal with the most. But Pelipper Safe Switch is extremely powerful. Pelipper functions a lot like Sableye, just with more pressure. Like I mentioned, if you can Hurricane through shields, you can do a lot of damage. Fun fact with Pelipper too, with Pelipper, you can actually beat Azumarill straight Hurricane. So, you go Pelipper, yes. So for those of you that don't know this, and you are new to Go Battle League, or you probably haven't played the Simulon, yes, if you put Azumarill versus Pelipper, and you put it, Azumarill will lose the 2-to-1s. If you get the bait and then Hurricane, but in the one shield, you can literally straight Hurricane. You can, wait, hold on. In the zeros, you can straight Hurricane. Or like Hurricane and like Weather Ball. But like, even if you just go straight Hurricane, wait, hold on, right here. Let me swap this. Again, one shield Hurricane, and you could also do this. Straight Hurricane. Alright, no, not Blizzard. Hurricane. Bam. Well, Pelipper would normally lose, but usually you get that one extra wing attack through, so you could literally straight Hurricane to victory. But generally, if you get one Hurricane through, you can just Weather Ball down anyway. So as long as you get one Weather Ball through, one Hurricane through, guess what? You can ball out. Literal ball out. Just ball. Balls to the wall, ball. And there are plenty of times I've taken back Switch from freaking multiple Azumarill, literally Hurricaning it to death. And last but not least, we have Stunfisk, Deoxys defense, and Trev. Stunfisk League is very popular for good reason. Extremely good coverage, a lot of pressure, and Mudshot is literally ground-type Pokemon's best friend. It will hit you like a spear, like Lashley does. Well, you know, I'm going to use Lashley instead of Brock Lesnar because everyone uses the godforsaken spear nowadays. Thanks, Edge. Or actually, no, yeah. Goldberg uses the spear. Roman Reigns uses the spear. Lashley uses the spear. Who else uses the spear? Oh, yeah, and Edge uses the spear. That's 4 people. Yes, I'm a WWE fan. The spear's overrated. Not really. It's not that bad of a move, but oh my god, like, so many people are using it as a finisher nowadays. So, as you see here, we got G-Stunfisk, Deoxys defense, and Trev. You have a Pancake, you have Noodle Arms, an Alien, technically, and then you have the Ghost Tree. Overall coverage, bulk, and safety and consistency is really good. This is actually the most powerful team statistically for the last time Great League was around. And it's still really freaking good to this day. Why? Because this entire team destroys Registeel. Yes, Trevanent will actually essentially wall Registeel, so will not really G-Fist, but like, yes, Zap Cannon's resisted. Deoxys defense eats those freaking Focus Blasts like no tomorrow. You can actually try and catch a Focus Blast against Deoxys defense, which I've done multiple times, and it's just hilarious, especially as it gets a Registeel. But yes, this is Team Kill Registeel. You will hate Registeel, and if they have a Registeel, this team will kill Registeel. But this team's also very powerful, being able to take on really big monoliths like Medicham XL as well as Walrein. You get the G-Fisk Mirror. Usually, whoever gets the Earthquake through shields is the one that wins the mirror. Or if you're able to hit the Earthquake, that's who wins. However, there have been multiple instances where I've gotten debated like a mother and still somehow came out with a W. So, even if you do lose the Galarian Stunfisk mirror, there are still win conditions. Never give up. This team is very powerful. Again, it was the strongest team last time of the rendition round, and it's statistically, I think it was like 600 something. Anything with a 600 rating is ridiculous. And as you see here, things like Diggersby, Malamar, Trev, and Sableye can give you a hard time. However, G-Fisk is still really good. There's a lot of strides you can do with a Pancake in the lead. You can outright win the lead, you can break shields, Earthquake through shields, leave damage, etc. Sack G-Fisk in the lead, and then send in Deoxys defense and Trev farm down whatever's in the back, get all that energy advantage, and throw it at your opponent for the W. You could ball out for the victory. Trevanent Shadow Ball, Hadouken, Super Saiyan, no wait, Final Flash, I guess? No, it's not Final Flash, that's like Hadouken. Yeah, Hadouken. Kamehameha's a beam. It's not a ball of energy, you know, like Hadouken, like, you know, Shadow Ball, yeah. Anyways, really strong team. Very good, like I mentioned. With G-Fisk, you can sack into the lead, you can break shields, and then get energy lead, or outright win the lead. If you lose the lead, you could safe switch into Deoxys defense or Trevanent. Usually it's Deoxys defense at your safe switch. If you saw me showcase this team before, I use Psycho Boost. I like Psycho Boost with Deoxys defense, so Psycho Boost generally works. Usually it's Thunderbolt Rock Slide, because with Thunderbolt you can win against the Azu safe switch. Also with Thunderbolt you can take out Flyers better with Deoxys defense. But really strong team. Again, the #1 team, top team from before, does really well. Really strong, and now there are a lot of Deoxys defenses running around because you got that, well, if you flex a shiny Deoxys defense in Great League, I'm super jealous and I wish I had one. But this team, again, is a top team, really strong. You used it before, it will work again for this time around in Season 11. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is my top 5 teams for the Open Great League. I don't sound that excited because I'm going to literally compete in regionals in probably about 2 months. And I don't feel good that I have a lot of Pokemon that a lot of average people are not going to have. I'm talking about Sableye and Medicham XL because I'm probably likely going to use those on my team. And yeah. But, well, like I mentioned, you don't really know the format. Is it going to be like all no holds barred, show everything you want, or yeah? Because to this day, no one really knows what the heck the format is. Everyone just says, this is the format. Okay, all I see is Great League. That's it. That's all they say. The format's Great League. It's very vague. That's like me being a therapist and like, hey, here's the therapy I do. What type of therapy do I do? Am I a physical therapist? Am I a speech therapist? Am I a massage therapist? Right? No, I'm a marriage family therapist / psychotherapist. Yeah. Bleh. But anyways, as you see here, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and do me a favor, please like and subscribe and comment for the algorithm. I appreciate those I do of it. I always comment back and I say I appreciate you, but I really do appreciate you though. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can easily do that by putting your mouse over that little box to the bottom right, and you can easily subscribe from over there. Really appreciate my current subscribers. Also follow me on Twitch if you want to see me live. Again, I stream Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes Mondays and Tuesdays too, but Wednesdays and Thursdays I'm definitely off because I got a lot of, well, Wednesdays I'm off for sure because I have like training all day and I have to be at the clinic, so yeah. But again, I really do appreciate you guys. Hopefully you're having fun. Open Great League is definitely going to play if you don't want to play the Little Jungle Cup. Whichever one you want to play, hopefully you're having a blast. Hopefully you're ranked 20 already, got your Galadion pose, and you got that shiny Pika Libre, and you got a Shundo Pika Libre. It's a lot to ask for, but you know some of you do have, and I'm mega jelly that you've done it. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.